critical condition still continues. It's costing me every day of my life. Internal braking session. They're imitating detectives, telling other detectives, start there in there. In other words, if I'm still in a critical condition, officers are in jail. Fucking pure shit all day. Costing me every minute of every day of my life. It's 4th of December, entire life snagged into relativising pure shit, pure rubbish, imitating detectives talking pure shit all day. So apparently making your argument for you and then pulling it out. So they're relativising my power to speak out about what they've done and then stripping it out. So they're relativising that's him off you, you'd have got her. So they're relativising you'd have got her. Basically saying in hindsight you would have had sex with her, and relativising sex with women and pulling it out. You'd have got her in hindsight. So they're speaking in a way that I've got a forced suicide, and they're speaking in hindsight. They've been speaking in hindsight or relativising in hindsight for 6 fucking years all day. You'd have got her, he'd have got taken off you, giving himself power, or Detective Constable's giving himself power, saying I'm off you, insinuating the fact he'd have got taken off. They've been saying that for 4 years. 4 years internally, they've been relativising I'm off you in a conversation with Detective Constables and imitating a Detective Constable's got taken off me in hindsight from what's happened and speaking from a point of view as I've got a forced suicide. So they're relativising to me from the fact I've got a forced suicide and relativising in hindsight you'd have got her. In other words, they've discussed it between themselves, and out of regret they're saying back 20 years ago I've got a girlfriend. I'd have got taken off you, giving himself power, making me in knowledge or liable for what they're going on about in the system. I've had nothing to do with South Yorkshire Police in years, got nothing to do with probation in years, not been convicted of a crime up until a couple of last year for 8 years, crippling, degrading, relativising it. My entire life snagged into a detective saying I'm off you, giving himself 5 years this has gone on for. I'm off you, watch bollocking he gets into solicitors, apparently getting bollockings duty solicitors. Pure shit about in the system, making me liable or in knowledge all day, every day. So apparently putting my power in the system so they can create my life internally. Another one created your power for you. I'm off you. You'd have got her. Pure fucking shit. Watch bollocking he gets. Basically communicating to me or relativising to me, putting my power in the system, costing me every minute or every day in society. It's destroyed somebody's life. They've cost me every single day of my life in society to communicate, relativise. Pure fucking rubbish all day. Liar. Apologising 2,000 times a day and crippling braking sessions, costing me every day of my life. Problem still continues. They've created a human punch bag where they're communicating to my power thousands of times a day. Pure shit all day, every day. Like yesterday, that had nothing to do with my life. Not a bad looker. So they're communicating into my power or relativising through my power, not a bad looker that's not anything to do with my life in society whatsoever, and nothing. So whatever they're relativising using institutionalisations coming out of their head, committing crime, imitating being entitled to my rights, entitled to do what they want, saying not a bad looker, insinuating the fact that I'm not bad looking into my sex power, reflecting crippling, degrading and humiliation, imitating entitlement to my power. Not a bad looker is not terminology that's got anything to do with my mindset or anything I can ever remember having anything to do with my life. So they're transmitting stuff out their own head, transgressions, threats, accusations and crippling humiliation that's coming out of their own heads using institutionalisation like last night. Just shit. Relativising not a bad looker while snagging my ability to project words or apparently speak for myself. Crippling, degrading, transgressions, braking sessions. They've created their own human punch bag where they can commit crime all day, every day, talking pure shit into my power all day that inflicts catastrophic torture and humiliation. I'm not hearing voices, I'm not hearing anything. And as I said, I had to relativise you all as a transgression and stripping out any power I've got to speak out. Liar. All day, every day, crippling braking sessions, mortification of self, stop it with my entire life encapsulated, causing physical agony and internal braking sessions, catastrophic torture all day, every day. They've made a human punch bag. You're mentally ill, you're poorly. Last night we were out arguing you're poorly is a transgression, afflicting catastrophic humiliation whilst consoling me, stripping my life out. They're relativising I'm stopping you into my ability to commit suicide, so I'm being used as a punch bag and I can't get out of it. So they're relativising I'm stopping you while afflicting crippling humiliation or stopping me from speaking or committing suicide. crippling, degrading still continues. They've made a human punch bag. They need to start regulating what they're doing, because they've opened an institutional self with the objective of committing crime against something. It's destroyed somebody's life. They've cost me 90% of my life by snagging my entire life. So critical condition, talking pure shit, relativising pure fucking shit thousands of times a day into my power, afflicting, crippling, degrading, whilst causing physical agony, physical pain and agony and suffering, and also anguish, crippling, humiliation and suffering into 1,000 crimes. So my life never changes outside of 1,000 crimes, while the imitator detective is entitled to do what he wants, saying sorry into 1,000 crimes, afflicting, catastrophic, degrading. They've stripped every single bit of my sex power out, every single bit of my sex drives, and as I said, that they're relativising he told you. So they've been relativising he told you and afflicting, crippling, degrading. In other words, they're saying that a solicitor told me. They're relativising when a solicitor told me you may never get a life again, and afflicting, crippling, degrading, saying he told you. So apparently a solicitor told me I may never get a life again in 2014. I'm in absolute crippling agony. I've been living in a tent or on the street for 2.5 years. I've never been in a sexual relationship. My jaw's completely wide shut internally. But the process has nearly killed me twice, or potentially 3 times. My jaw's completely snagged shut. Never been in a sexual relationship, not been on holiday. Been in a critical condition where it's been inhumane to stay alive for years. I'm subject to crippling breaking sessions all day, every day, with my ability to project words or speak for myself in society getting snagged. So they're using me in a controlled state with no ability to speak. All day, every day, my ability to project words being snagged and they're correcting my speech. Pure shit all day, committing crime in my power. Created your life fear, created your power fear. In other words, they've created your life fear while degrading your life, power over your own life. Internal breaking sessions, committing crime against my power all day, every day, afflicting catastrophic torture all day, every day. Sorry, liar, should have gone guilty, you're sorry. You'd have got her, imitating I'd have got a girlfriend in hindsight. I'm off ya, giving himself power, detective constable giving himself power, saying I'm off ya. Crippling breaking sessions all day, every day, thousands of times a day, costing me every single day of my life. Threats against my life, threats against every single bit of my life. Committing crime against me all day. I told ya, into whether humiliating my power in society, afflicting, crippling, degrading. With police officers saying I told you, where they've put all my ability to get sex power over a woman into a woman, and then they stopped me having sex with her and forced into having sex with somebody else, so they've killed my power. So they've relativised me speaking with women. I've got power over her, or I'm speaking to her, and they snagged my ability to get power over her or have sex with her or get into a relationship and controlled into having sex with somebody else. So they've afflicted crippling humiliation and crippling emasculation from the system. They've snagged every single time it's happened, or every time they've done it and said I told you, into her power. So they're humiliating my power over women, afflicting, crippling, degrading, saying I told you, because they've been committing crime against my sex power over women every day. They've cost me sex with every single woman I've ever spoken to. Crippling, degrading still continues. Internal breaking sessions, relativising pure shit into my power not even from the moment I'm waking up. They're waking me up 4, 5, 6 times a night, afflicting, crippling, degrading, saying sorry. Detectives relativising, saying sorry into my power all day, 5 and 6 times a night, afflicting catastrophic torture. They've encapsulated my entire life that's pressing on my internal organs. It's wired my jaw shut, and all day, every day, afflict catastrophic torture, talking shit into my power. I'm unable to get a full erection, got no sex drives, got no ability to get sexual tension. My jaw's now been wired shut internally for about 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. I've not had a full erection in about 2 or 3 months because they snagged my ability to get physical erections. Internal breaking sessions all day, talking pure shit, saying liar 3,000 times a day plus. Today, about 2,000 times, saying liar by detective constables, calling me a liar, saying I'm a liar. Saying sorry all day, every day. 2,000 times a day, 2,000 times a day, they've imitated a detective saying sorry to me with my entire life snagged into 1,000 crimes. So my life hasn't changed all day outside a detective saying sorry to me for 1,000 crimes, and he's overpowered me and he takes what he wants, doing what he wants. So they've made their own internal punch bag internally, squashing their own anxieties and squashing their own genetic dysfunctions in my institutional self. They've cost me my entire life. They've completely wrecked somebody's life. Snagged my entire power in society into a detective committing 1,000 crimes against me and saying sorry for it. So my power hasn't changed in society and hasn't changed one bit outside a detective saying sorry for 1,000 crimes all day, every day. critical condition. They've cost somebody's life. It's absolutely wrecked somebody's life. And I cannot believe how unregulated it is and why these individuals are not being arrested for misusing an institutional self. Critical condition still continues. Cost me the best years of my life.